Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Lila.
Ceci.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So your claim is that there's no right for abortion under any circumstance at all, which obviously I disagree with
And
because
I'll just define abortion really quick, just for clarity, because it was
you don't really need to for me.
the intentional killing of a living.
Whatever you want to call it, I
Unborn
don't
baby.
disagree with it. Anyway, so my point though is that there should be exception. I mean, I think you should be able to get it if you want one, but
Under any
for
circumstances.
the 10-year-olds that are raped, which that 10-year-old in Ohio who was raped by her father, then was told she couldn't have an abortion, had to go to a different state. So you're more than comfortable with holding down a 10-year-old once again to make her do something with her body she doesn't want to do.
So an abortion is another act of violence in my view, both of that baby and of a rape survivor. I think this view that we have that abortion is somehow going to heal
Even
a
if
rape
that
survivor
10-year-old is crying and begging you, I don't want to give birth, I don't want to carry it for 9 months, I don't want to be a mom.
I think she deserves the best support and care. She needs to be taken out
And
of
the
that
best support
abusive
and care would be
situation.
health care, and in this case would be an abortion.
But we can't take the life of
we're
an
not
innocent
just
child.
talking.
I think in that case, an early delivery. If I can just finish.
No, you're affording more empathy toward a zygote more than you are a living, breathing 10-year-old who just went through something seriously traumatizing.
So
your empathy is in a place I don't understand.
If I can respond.
Now you can, absolutely.
So is absolutely horrific. Incest is absolutely horrific. We are completely aligned on that. We need more penalties for abusers. I think one of the things that I have about that case that I've seen is there's no story about what happened to her abuser. Was she protected from her abuser? It's like that's left out of the narrative.
Her father.
I mean, but
I've heard you say before,
has she been protected?
You shouldn't punish a child for what you called generational sin.
But if I can finish.
But which child are you not? Which child do you want to punish?
You gotta let me make the case.
Is my
you gotta
question.
let me make the case.
You're worried about punishing a child, but which one? The 10-year-old who was already punished?
Can I respond?
Now you can.
In a case of rape or incest and there's a new life that's been conceived, there's another human being now we're talking about. It's not just the abuser and the victim. There's another potential victim.
There's a zygote.
And
right.
we need to care for both. They're both human beings. And in the case of a very young girl who's been the victim of a horrific assault, the idea—
You want to hold her down again.
The idea, well, in an abortion, you're literally held down and you have to submit your body to an act that will deliver
she would
a
want
forced
to have
child.
done
well, you're
rather
speaking
than the
for her.
other.
You're speaking for her right now.
No. We're talking about the 10-year-old who wanted to get that abortion.
But the point here is that there are human rights now in play for an unborn child and a born child. They both have rights. And I think the medical care is very key, as well as the counseling and the support that she deserves. And probably an early delivery would be what would be necessary to protect her health and to make sure that the baby would have a chance to live. But at the end of the day, you don't give the death penalty to the baby because they were conceived by a rapist, because their father is an abuser. We don't even give the death penalty in this country to rapists. Were you aware of that?
My question for
you can't even get the death penalty for. Why would we be okay with giving the death penalty to a child because they're conceived in rape?
It's not a child.
What are they?
It's a zygote. It's an embryo.
What is an
fetus.
embryo? What is
and
an
I'm
embryo?
not going to get into the science behind it because the thing
you don't
now
think the science
is
matters?
Not in this argument right
So
now.
you don't
because you think there's no right for an abortion for any reason,
but
there definitely are.
That's
like Nancy Davis in Louisiana,
who
her child is going to be born with a crania, meaning without a skull. You thought, and you said this to her, you said, I think your child should have died in the loving arms of their parents instead of at the tools of the abortionist. Now, this woman was going to give birth to a child that will die within minutes of being born. So you're not bringing life into the world. Do you
know what abortion procedure would have been done on her baby?
That?
Do you know what abortion procedure would have been done on her baby? In a later term abortion that she had in the second trimester.
An emergency abortion.
If I can just complete my sentence here. Either there would have been a lethal injection of that baby to kill that baby, or that would have been a live dismemberment of that baby. Those are the abortion procedures used in the second or the third trimester.
And you don't think either one should have been—
But you support that? Do you support that? Thank you.